From the quiet valleys of rural Pennsylvania, where the rhythm of life adheres to principles centuries old, emerges a profound testament to self-reliance and the wisdom of tradition. In a world increasingly reliant on complex chemical solutions, the Amish stand as a living archive of simpler, yet often remarkably effective, practices. Their homes, unburdened by the clamor of modern technology, are meticulously maintained bastions against the natural world's persistent intrusions, particularly those of common household pests. It is within this context that one humble liquid, white vinegar, rises from a mere kitchen staple to a cornerstone of their domestic defense. This isn't merely a tale of home remedies. It is an exploration of a philosophy, a deep-seated commitment to stewardship, and a re-evaluation of what it truly means to manage one's environment with ingenuity and intention. The popular notion of 35 white vinegar hacks attributed to the Amish, while a modern construct in its specific enumeration, points to a deeper truth, a legacy of practical knowledge that, when stripped of hyperbole, offers enduring insights into living harmoniously and healthily, even in the face of nature's relentless push. This documentary delves into the historical threads, the practical applications, and the underlying principles that elevate white vinegar from a simple acid to a symbol of an enduring way of life. Context: the Amish way of life and the roots of self-sufficiency. To understand the Amish approach to pest control, one must first grasp the foundational tenets of their existence. The Amish, an Anabaptist Christian group, trace their origins to 17th-century Switzerland and Alsace, arriving in North America primarily in the 18th century. Seeking religious freedom and agrarian livelihoods, they settled in fertile regions, predominantly Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana. Their separation from mainstream society, known as Gelassenheit, a concept encompassing submission, humility, and yielding to God's will and community standards, dictates many aspects of their daily lives, including their relationship with technology and the environment. The Ordnung, the unwritten code of conduct that governs Amish life, establishes strict guidelines for everything from dress and buggy styles to farming practices and household management. This includes a conscious decision to forego many modern conveniences, such as electricity from public grids, automobiles, and, crucially for our discussion, synthetic chemical pesticides. The reasoning is multifaceted: a desire to avoid worldly temptations and influences, a commitment to a simpler life, and a deep-seated belief in stewardship over God's creation. Using harsh, artificial chemicals would, for many, contradict these core principles, impacting the health of their families, their livestock, and the very soil they cultivate. In an Amish household, the absence of modern amenities necessitates a different rhythm of life, one characterized by diligence, order, and meticulous maintenance. Every object, every space, is valued and cared for. This ethos extends naturally to cleanliness, which is not merely aesthetic but a fundamental defense against the proliferation of pests. A clean home, free of crumbs, standing water, and clutter, is inherently less inviting to insects and rodents. This proactive approach forms the bedrock of their pest management strategy, long before any specific remedy, including vinegar, is even considered. The kitchen, often the heart of an Amish home, is a hub of activity: cooking, canning, baking. With gas lamps or natural light illuminating simple, robust wooden tables and cabinetry, the emphasis is on utility and hygiene. Food storage is precise, often involving canning jars or cool cellars, minimizing exposed food sources that attract pests. Waste is minimized, composted, or carefully managed. This disciplined environment is itself the first, and perhaps most effective, barrier against infestation. It is within this carefully constructed framework of self-sufficiency and mindful living that the role of natural remedies, like white vinegar, gains its true significance. These aren't isolated hacks, but integrated components of a comprehensive, generational approach to household management. Context: vinegar through the ages, a universal remedy. The use of vinegar or acetic acid as a multi-purpose agent is not unique to the Amish. Its history stretches back millennia, woven into the fabric of human civilization long before the advent of modern chemistry. Ancient Babylonians, nearly 5,000 years ago, used vinegar as a preservative and a condiment. The Egyptians utilized it for medicinal purposes and as a cleaning agent. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, prescribed it in the 5th century BCE for various ailments, including wound cleansing and respiratory issues. The Romans, known for their meticulous hygiene, employed vinegar for sanitation, recognizing its acidic properties as effective against grime and certain microbes. Throughout the Middle Ages and into the early modern period, vinegar remained a household staple across Europe and eventually in the Americas. It was cheap, readily available, and easily produced through the fermentation of various alcoholic liquids, such as wine, cider, or beer. Its utility was vast, as a food preservative, a tenderizer, a disinfectant for surfaces, a deodorizer, and a component in countless folk remedies. In an era without commercial cleaning products or synthetic disinfectants, vinegar was an indispensable tool for maintaining a clean and healthy home environment. Its sharp, distinct scent was often associated with cleanliness itself. When Amish communities established themselves in North America, they brought with them this inherited knowledge, a practical wisdom passed down through generations. In their agrarian settlements, far removed from nascent industrial centers, the reliance on accessible, natural resources was not a choice, but a necessity. White vinegar, often made from distilled grains, fit perfectly into this paradigm. It was inexpensive to acquire or, in some cases, could even be produced at home. Its versatility meant one substance could serve multiple purposes, aligning with the Amish value of resourcefulness and simplicity. For these communities, vinegar was not a novel discovery for pest control. Rather, its application against household invaders was a natural extension of its long-established role in cleaning and sanitation. It was an intuitive step to employ a known disinfectant and deodorizer against creatures whose presence was often linked to uncleanliness and undesirable odors. This deep historical context underscores that the Amish use of vinegar is not an anomaly, but rather a continuation of time-honored practices, maintained and refined within a lifestyle that consciously resists the siren call of modern chemical alternatives. Mechanism: the science of acetic acid and pest deterrence. White vinegar, typically containing 5 to 8% acetic acid, possesses several properties that make it useful in household management, including some applications against common pests. It is its acidity, its ability to act as a mild disinfectant, and its strong odor that are most relevant in this context. However, it is crucial to temper expectations. Vinegar is primarily a deterrent and a cleaning agent, not a universal pesticide, especially for established infestations. The Amish understanding of its use is often grounded in observation and practical application, recognizing its strengths and inherent limitations. For ants, white vinegar is often employed as a disruptor and a deterrent. Ants navigate primarily through scent trails laid by pheromones. Wiping down surfaces with diluted vinegar effectively obliterates these trails, disorienting scouting ants and making it difficult for the colony to follow their path to food sources. A common method involves mixing equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle and applying it directly to ant trails, entry points, and areas where ants are observed. While direct contact with concentrated vinegar can kill some ants by overwhelming their respiratory systems, its primary role is preventative and disruptive. It helps keep ants from establishing routes into the home, rather than eradicating an entire colony. The visual of a simple spray bottle, perhaps an older, hand-pumped model, being used to meticulously wipe down a kitchen counter or windowsill, embodies this careful, consistent effort. Against cockroaches, vinegar's role is largely indirect. Roaches are drawn to food residues, grease, and moisture. White vinegar is an excellent degreaser and cleaning agent. By regularly cleaning kitchen surfaces, floors, and pantry shelves with a vinegar water solution, the Amish effectively remove the primary attractants and breeding grounds for roaches. It eliminates the food particles and sticky films that sustain them, and its acidic nature can help sanitize surfaces where roach droppings might harbor bacteria. However, vinegar itself is not a potent insecticide against cockroaches. It won't kill an established infestation, nor is it a strong repellent in the way commercial products might be. Its efficacy lies in its contribution to a meticulously clean environment, making the home far less hospitable for these resilient insects. Spiders are often found in undisturbed corners, seeking small insects for food. White vinegar can act as a mild deterrent, particularly due to its strong scent. Spraying a diluted vinegar solution around windowsills, door frames, and other entry points may discourage spiders from entering or settling in those areas. Furthermore, by keeping a home exceptionally clean, using vinegar to wipe down surfaces and remove dust and cobwebs, the Amish reduce the presence of other small insects that serve as a food source for spiders. This indirect approach is often more effective than attempting to directly spray spiders with vinegar, which typically only annoys them rather than causing significant harm. The image of a broom or a cloth on a long handle, used with diligence, is key here, followed by a vinegar wipe. For mice, the application of vinegar shifts to scent masking and cleaning. Mice have a highly developed sense of smell, and strong odors can be disorienting or unpleasant for them. Soaking cotton balls in undiluted white vinegar and placing them in suspected entry points, along baseboards, or in pantry corners is believed to deter mice from those specific areas. However, this is rarely a standalone solution for a mouse problem. Physical barriers, such as sealing cracks and holes, and traditional traps remain the most effective methods for exclusion and removal. Where vinegar truly assists is in cleaning up after mice. Their urine and droppings leave pheromone trails that attract more mice. A thorough cleaning with a strong vinegar solution helps to neutralize these odors and sanitize the contaminated areas, breaking the cycle of attraction. This reflects a holistic strategy where vinegar plays a supporting, rather than primary, role. Finally, for bedbugs, the efficacy of white vinegar is extremely limited and should not be considered a primary treatment. Bedbugs are notoriously difficult to eradicate, requiring professional intervention. While some suggest spraying vinegar directly on bedbugs or adding it to laundry, its acidic strength is generally insufficient to kill adult bedbugs or their eggs effectively. At best, it might act as a very temporary repellent or clean surfaces. The Amish, while relying on natural methods, are also pragmatic. For serious infestations like bedbugs, the focus would shift to extreme cleanliness, washing all linens in hot water, drying at high heat, and potentially isolating infested items or seeking community advice for more intensive, albeit natural, interventions. The visual emphasis here would be on meticulous laundering and fabric care rather than direct spraying. In essence, the mechanism of vinegar in Amish pest control is rarely a direct, chemical kill. Instead, it is integrated into a broader strategy of diligent cleanliness, environmental disruption, and deterrence. It is one tool in a comprehensive approach that prioritizes prevention, sanitation, and persistent effort, rather than relying on a single magic bullet. This nuanced understanding stands in stark contrast to the often simplified claims found in modern online hacks. Twist: the 35 hacks, phenomenon, and the enduring lesson. The phrase, Amish's 35 white vinegar hacks, is a quintessential product of the modern digital age. It captures attention with a specific number, implies secret knowledge, and leverages the popular image of the Amish as purveyors of natural, simple, and effective solutions. However, it is highly improbable that any such codified list of 35 hacks exists within traditional Amish communities. Their knowledge is typically transmitted orally, through observation, and as an integrated part of daily domestic practice, not as a numbered manual of discrete tricks. The concept of hacks itself is a contemporary term, suggesting shortcuts or ingenious solutions to modern problems. While the Amish are certainly ingenious, their approach is rooted in consistent diligence and established wisdom rather than quick fixes. The popularity of such attributions speaks to a broader societal yearning. In a world saturated with complex chemicals, environmental concerns, and a desire for healthier, more natural living, the Amish ideal represents an appealing alternative. Their lifestyle, characterized by self-sufficiency, frugality, and a deep connection to the land, resonates with those seeking to simplify their own lives and reduce their reliance on industrial products. White vinegar, being readily available, inexpensive, and non-toxic, perfectly embodies this ideal. It offers a promise of effective pest control without the perceived dangers or ecological footprint of synthetic pesticides. This modern fascination, while sometimes leading to oversimplification or romanticization, serves to highlight the enduring value of traditional knowledge. The true hack in the Amish approach is not a specific application for every pest, but rather the underlying philosophy: prevention through meticulous cleanliness, consistent effort, and the wise utilization of accessible, natural resources. For the Amish, pest management is not a separate chore addressed with a specialized product. It is an intrinsic part of maintaining a godly and orderly home. It involves sealing cracks in walls and floors, ensuring food is stored properly in glass jars or cool cellars, routinely sweeping and mopping, and addressing spills immediately. Vinegar then becomes an aid in this larger, ongoing battle. The contrast between the Amish method and mainstream pest control is stark. Modern society often reaches for powerful, targeted chemical insecticides designed for rapid eradication. These solutions, while effective, come with concerns about toxicity to humans and pets, environmental impact, and the development of pesticide resistance in target organisms. The Amish, by choosing a path of restraint and natural remedies, implicitly avoid these dilemmas. Their methods, while requiring more consistent effort and perhaps slower results, align with a broader commitment to health, sustainability, and harmony with their environment. Ultimately, the 35 white vinegar hacks attributed to the Amish offer us more than just a list of remedies. They invite us to look beyond the immediate problem of a specific pest and consider the broader context of how we interact with our homes and the natural world. The enduring lesson is one of empowerment, that with diligence, observation, and a reliance on simple, time-honored tools, individuals can exert significant control over their immediate environment, fostering healthier spaces without resorting to harsh chemicals. It is a testament to the quiet power of tradition, a reminder that sometimes the oldest ways are indeed the wisest, offering not just solutions, but a framework for a more intentional and harmonious existence.